Hello again, everyone, and welcome into RedHawks Football Weekly as we recap last week's loss on the road at Army West Point and look forward to the Mid-American Conference opener at home at Yager Stadium versus Central Michigan coming up this Saturday at 3:30. Steve Baker, the voice of the RedHawks here, joined by head coach Chuck Martin. 23-10 was the final at West Point on Saturday, Coach, and it was as physical and as daunting a task as we talked about. Unfortunately, we also talked about how good their defense was last week, and they certainly proved out to be very, very good.
Yeah, that was probably the biggest story of the game was their defense really dominated play. Didn't let us really get anything going in the run game. When we did try to throw the ball, constantly harassing Brett all day long, and did a good job in coverage. So we had one nice drive in the first half, one nice drive in the second half. Again, low possession game. There's only 10 possessions, so our offense didn't get as many opportunities. But first half they did. We actually had 7 possessions in the first half and had opportunities to move the ball, and their defense was really strong all day long. Army's offense was what we thought. It's like 3 hours of inside drill. And our kids were definitely up to the challenge. They played really hard. Our kids in the trenches, it's very violent in the trenches with a lot of cut blocking, and our kids really held up well and played really physical. And again, did they move us a little bit? Yes, but most of the snaps we didn't give an inch and really handled their fullback most of the day, which is their bread and butter. Mm-hmm. Again, like we always talk about, when you defend the triple, it can go big on any down. You make the one mistake and it can go big. And they had 2 plays where we didn't get a hat to the quarterback, and it turned into big plays. And then they had the 1 3rd and long where that play we actually defended well, and the quarterback broke loose and cut back for 47 yards. And that was frustrating because we had them pinned down. It was still 23-10 at the point, and we had them pinned deep. We had just snuffed out a reverse and caused a fumble. They caught a major break. We hit their kid. We have 4 guys in the backfield. We hit the kid, and he's wrapped up, so he can't go after the fumble. We're going to probably get a touchdown on the play.
Right.
And the ball bounces, and he happens to fall on it. And again, he didn't try to fall. That's where he fell. The ball was. If it's anywhere else, we either got the ball on the 1 yard line or we got a touchdown. So then the very next play, we got the quarterback bottled up, and he wiggles off the hook and cuts back and turns it in. And that's their one 18-play drive. Your normal Army type of where they grind 10 minutes off the clock.
Right.
And so again, hard-fought effort. Both sides of the ball, but didn't get enough stuff done offensively. And then obviously defensively, we gave up a couple big plays out of 68 snaps. They had a couple big plays, but you can't let that happen. And then obviously the block punt was a huge play in the game also.
Yeah, a block punt that led to a field goal, which is a tribute to how your defense did play in this game. The Black Knights came in having punted twice in 3 games. You forced 6 punts in that game.
Yeah, and again, got possessions and got some quick stops. Even in 18, when we got stops, it was 21-21 at the end of regulation. It was 23-10 at the end of regulation. They chewed up tons of clock in 18, so it really limited the times our offense. Where on Saturday, we got some stops and we got 3 and outs. Like, we got on the field, bottled them up, got off the field, and didn't let them drive where they can get in all those 4-down territories, because if you 4th and 5 on their own 25, they got to punt the ball. So we were playing good enough defense. There was one time it was 4th and 3 on our side, and I thought for sure they were going for it. They punted the ball, and I said, man, they feel like that we can stop them, because usually, So we did a really good job of getting on and off the field and not letting their offense dominate the game until that drive late 3rd through the 4th. That was the drive that they the quarterback wiggled out. Then the rest of the day they just kind of dribbled it down the field all the way down. So, but for the most part, we got a lot of stops compared to what most people do.
You talked about the first early play. Anderson goes 72 yards for a touchdown. And as we take a look at the highlights, we'll take a look at the defense after the Army Black Knights go up by 7. Up first, the Knights' next possession. This is 3rd and 5, and a big play here by Mike Brown.
Yeah, great job by Mike Brown. Good job of Lonnie stringing out. Mike Brown beats a block, beats a cut block. Very difficult to do because you don't see many cut blocks until you play Army. But Lonnie does a good job getting up the field, forces it back to Mike. Mike beats a cut block and then makes a great open field tackle.
Great tackle, and again, you'll take a look at it here, diving over the cut block and making the big play for the Miami RedHawks. Next possession for the Black Knights, 2nd down and 10, and this is Cecil Singleton.
Yeah, really good job again, just being really disciplined defense. They run a little counter trap option, so they start flow one way, but then they reverse flow. They did a lot of misdirection against us Saturday. Salopek stayed home, forced the pitch. Cecil got to the pitch back, and again, a nice solid open field tackle.
Next possession for Miami starts with 4:42 to go in the first, and Brett Kebert finds Mac Hippenhammer for 13.
Yeah, good job. Protected, good route, good read by Brett, put the ball on the money. Again, felt like we could have thrown it better on him, just not really the time necessary to get through your read progression, get the ball where we want to go. We were under duress the whole day.
Under duress the whole day, and third down wasn't a big friend of Miami on Saturday, but back-to-back third down conversions. First 13-yarder to the 50 to Kevin Davis.
Again, good job. Good design of the route. Good. Our first read was open. Brett takes his first read, drops it down to Kevin Davis, and he scoots for the first down.
And the last one of the last plays of the first quarter on 3rd down and 5. This is to Jalen Walker. Coming up after we take a look here at another of the Kevin Davis catches there. 3rd down and 5 here to Jaywalk.
Yep, again, going through the progression, gets his read, finds his second option. Good job by Jaywalk, catching the ball, getting north and south, getting the first down.
First quarter comes to an end. We move to the second on 1st and 10. Again, Jaywalk for 12.
Yeah, good decisive read by Brett. Read the coverage, got the ball outside one-on-one. Jaywalk beats his man. We get a nice first down.
And this will be the field goal from 29 for Graham Nicholson. 13 plays, 69 yards, and 6:26 off the clock. And Miami's trailing 7-3. On the very next play, though, the quarterback for the Black Knights will find his way to the end zone from 75 yards out. And then later on in the half, this is the blocked punt by the Black Knights. They're up in the contest 14-3. And this was really a big play for them because they were able to, kind of turn things around a little bit there.
Yeah, no, we got a huge stop down here after the block punt. They had, obviously, we don't want to let them go 21-3. We get again. I thought they'd be in 4-down territory, but Ben Kempler, who just played a monster game for us, inside and outside, was tremendous the whole day. And again, huge stop by our defense, a place where the Black Knights typically never get stopped inside the 5, and our D line's pushing them back, and our pursuit's getting there. And again, we force them to field goal, and you're still only down 2 scores. And now all of a sudden, the block punt's not as big a play because they didn't really capitalize on getting the ball on the 14-yard line. So they had 1st and goal inside the 5, and we stopped them, holding them at field goal. Like I said, that's usually they're just 4-down territory. They don't kick many field goals.
Yeah, 17-3 at the end of the first half, and we'll come back and review the second half of the Army-Miami game coming up in just a moment. Also preview this Saturday's Friends and Family Weekend game against Central Michigan, the Mid-American Conference home opener. That's when we return with more of RedHawks Football Weekly in just one moment.
RedHawk Football Weekly is brought to you in part by Courtyard Marriott in Hamilton. Located in the heart of Butler County and only 13 miles from Miami University, the Courtyard Marriott in Hamilton is the ideal location when traveling to the Miami campus. With modern style and spacious guest rooms, journey to relaxation at the Courtyard Marriott, a proud partner of Miami Athletics. And by Rumpke. RedHawk fans, Miami is proud to partner with Rumpke Waste and Recycling to keep our campus clean and green. Make sure you recycle your bottles and cans when you come to the game, and make sure you are recycling everything you can at home. Visit Rumpke.com.
Welcome back to RedHawk Football Weekly, recapping the 23-10 loss to the Black Knights of Army. Steve Baker along with head coach Chuck Martin. And, Coach, I asked you after the game, as physical as the game was and is against the academies, we didn't have really anybody come out looking like a major injury. But as you said, there's going to be a lot of guys sore, a lot of guys tested when they get into workout and get ready for practice on Tuesday. How has it been?
Yeah, there was a few boots, that you knew there's, because it's right after the game, and our kids will play through a lot of pain and sometimes play through some injuries. And during the game and the emotion, the adrenaline, they don't want to let their teammates down. They just keep playing through stuff. And then you give it a day and you fly home and you bus home and you sleep on it. Next thing you know, but we came through it very well. We didn't have anything that is long-term. Will we have some guys maybe questionable for this week? Well, we have some guys miss practice this week, no doubt. But our normal playing a triple team that cuts as much, particularly cutting in the interior, we came to it very well considering what we expect and what we normally do. So, and again, you see how beat up some of our kids are up front defensively. and then you think like they never came out. They just kept playing and playing and playing and playing. And I was proud of them during the game. I talked to them after the game, but then you see them the next day and you're like, yeah, that's the effort we were looking for. And again, nothing long term. Hopefully we should have everybody back for this weekend. If not, it won't be more than 1 week.
And while we're talking injuries, let's talk about the guys that couldn't play Saturday. Andrew Homer, Tyree Shelton. We talked on Thursday night that he was getting close, and Jalen Bester. How's their prognosis?
Yeah, no, they're getting close. I know they're all trying to make it this week. Tyree actually dressed last Saturday. I'd anticipate seeing him in action this week. I know Jalen and Homer they're both trying to play last weekend, but they're getting close. And if again, it'll probably be later in the week decision, but we're getting to the point where it's realistic they could be playing this weekend against Central Michigan.
Second half of the game against Army, they come out with the football, and again, your defense does what they were supposed to do right off the bat.
Yeah, no, we got tons of stuff. Like again, the game kind of went how we would hope from a defense standpoint, minus those two big quarterback runs, And again, the third one, I'll give credit to them. We did exactly what we wanted to do on the play. We got to the play, and their quarterback broke 2 or 3 tackles and made a play. And that, again, that's going to happen sometimes, and sometimes over the course of 70 snaps, you got to tip your hat down. The first two, when we didn't get hats to the quarterback and it was easy, those are the only 2 plays we really regret on the defensive side of the ball. Like Arnett, they ran 65 other plays for 200 yards. Right. They barely averaged 3 yards a play for the entire rest of the game, and that allowed us because the dives weren't getting 3 and 4 and 5. The dives are getting 1 and 2 and 3.
Right.
And the perimeter ones weren't getting 4 and 6. They were getting 2 to 4. Like we had them 3rd and 5 a bunch. Yeah. And you get them 3rd and 5, now you got a chance to make it 4th and 2.5 or 3, and now maybe because anything inside of 2 they're going. Yeah. They went for it on their own 10-yard line when they needed 6 inches. So we did such a good job on first down, and we did really good job against their fullback. Their fullback obviously didn't move the pile like they're used to moving that pile, and it doesn't look bad, but it's 2nd and 4. You're like, man, it felt like that was okay.
Yeah.
We had a lot of 2nd and 8s, a lot of 2nd and 9. So that allowed us to get off the field, and like you said, we got a great stop to open the second half.
Got a stop to open the second half. Let's go to the highlights and take a look at Miami's first possession. Right off the bat, 1st and 10 from the Miami 24, and Brett Gabbert finds Jack Sorensen.
Yeah, good job again. Pocket press by Brett. He slides to his left. He finds Jack in the hole. He throws a beautiful level 2 ball for a huge chunk play.
And you can see the sit down here by Jack Sorensen right in between the defenders and able to haul it in for a 37-yard gain. Couple of plays later, it's 3rd down and 10, and here's 8 to Jalen Walker.
Yeah, good job, good catch, really good tackle by the Army guy, no yards after the catch, but good read by Brett, good accurate throw, nice catch by Jay Walker. He takes the hit and sets us up a 4th and short.
Yeah, it's 4th and 2 after this catch, and again, took a pretty good shot. That's just a good example of how physical this game was. You see Brett Gabbert say, let's go for it, and the RedHawks do exactly that. Nice presence here stepping up and then finding Jay Walker again.
Really find his 3rd option on the play. Got to his front side reads really quick, didn't like it, got the ball back to Jay Walk. Jay Walk makes a nice catch and gets us a 1st down.
And he goes right to the marker, gets the 1st down here, and 2nd and 10 upcoming after this. And Brett Gabbert this time does it with his feet.
Yeah, drop back, feels a little pressure, gets flushed out of the pocket, rips the ball, gets us a huge 1st down inside the 10.
1st and 10 from the Army 18 as Gabbert, you see, shuffling the feet, getting outside and getting the yardage for the Miami RedHawks. It's a down to the 18-yard line, and Mac Hippenhammer gets back into the action with an 11-yard catch from Gabbert.
Yeah, nice throw and catch again out on the perimeter. Good timing on the route. Takes his one-on-one matchup, hits Mac. Max makes a nice contested catch and gets us another 1st down.
You see the grab here, and Hippenhammer just so tough to bring down. Draped around his ankles and still staying on his feet to pick up the 1st down. David Afari, one of those 4 freshman running backs for Miami. I almost got it in here, but was just shy on the review. Gets it down to the 1-yard line.
Really good push by the right side of our offensive line. Really worked them off the ball, and David gets it down to the 2-inch line. And then this is the biggest 2 plays of the game. We got to get the ball. We got to be able to run the ball in from inside the 1-yard line. We don't. We turn it over on downs, and then they get the ball back.
And they get the ball back, and this is the play right before. This is the sack you were talking about. Forced the fumble, but the player is able to fall right back on the football, just where he fell. And 3 fumbles on the day for Army, and unfortunately, RedHawks couldn't come up with any of them here. And you'll take a look at it again, and just the bounce of the football is popped up right where he's laying down. And this is coming up on 3rd down and 18 here, and you see the quarterback Christian Anderson just escaping and getting 42.
Yeah, no, we very well defended. We had what we wanted. We got him hit in the backfield. We had a second guy with a chance to finish him off. We missed a tackle, and then he cuts back and makes a big play.
And Miami's big play of the day, 80 yards, and this is on the very next play after Army scores, and just a great job by Kevin Davis down the sideline.
Yeah. Again, Brett, pocket presence, moves his right, like we talk about all the time with him.
Yeah.
His ability to, like you showed the scramble the last time, he takes off, runs, gets first time. This time, eyes up, he finds Kevin Davis. He knows where his receivers are, has a really good ability to make decisions while he's in the pocket. And again, it's not just always throwing it, it's not just always running. Sometimes it's throwing it away. He knows he doesn't take sacks. So, again, got flushed a little bit, knew where the route was, got his eyes to Kevin, and then Kevin makes a great run. The guy had the angle on him. He kind of dipped him and got him to shut his feet down, and then he gassed him down the sidelines and turned in what should have been like a 30-yard gain into an 80-yard touchdown.
A lot of positives in this game, despite the 23-10 loss. And again, I think from second quarter of the Minnesota game on, this defense just continues to get better and better. They showed how well they can play. How tough will it be? Central Michigan coming up. We'll talk about the Chippewas in a second, but putting the Army game behind you, you have to rethink everything that you're doing, I would think, defensively. How hard is it to put that behind you and get back focused again?
Yeah, no, you have to. It shouldn't be hard. It just, again, you're trying to build Cincinnati, Minnesota, Long Island, and you're doing things well, you want to keep doing them, you're making mistakes, you're correcting. Then you play Army, like what we ran last week on defense has nothing to do with defense. So really you just got to kind of flush away and say, hey, it was a really nice defensive effort. We really battled. We did a lot of good things in our scheme to stop the triple, but our scheme stop the triple looks nothing like our scheme the first 3 games in the last 8 games. So you just kind of put your defense on pause that week. You put together a package that you think can give you a chance to win that football game, and then when that week's over, you put that to bed until you see one of the academies on your schedule again in the future, and then you might dust that game plan off. So you go back to playing, but defense is still defense. Defense is block destruction. Defense is tackling. Yeah. The biggest play in the second half of that game was missed tackles. So defense is pursuit angles. Defense is reading your keys. Now, Army makes you read a ton of different keys, and their keys are always moving, but there's no different against Central Michigan. You're going to have to read your run keys. You have to read your pass keys. And in the pass game, you have to go and fit the pass plays right. In the run game, you have to go fit the run plays right. So there still is the carryover from the discipline of playing football the right way on that side of the ball.
We'll come back. We'll talk about the Central Michigan Chippewas. They picked up a win at home over the weekend. We'll talk about the Chippewas and preview this Saturday's game at Yager Stadium when we return on RedHawk Football Weekly.
RedHawk Football Weekly is brought to you in part by Courtyard Marriott in Hamilton. Located in the heart of Butler County and only 13 miles from Miami University, the Courtyard Marriott in Hamilton is the ideal location when traveling to the Miami campus. With modern style and spacious guest rooms, journey to relaxation at the Courtyard Marriott, a proud partner of Miami Athletics. And by Rumpke. RedHawk fans, Miami is proud to partner with Rumpke Waste and Recycling to keep our campus clean and green. Make sure you recycle your bottles and cans when you come to the game, and make sure you are recycling everything you can at home. Visit rumpke.com.
And welcome back to RedHawk Football Weekly. Steve Baker along with head coach Chuck Martin. Miami getting ready to take on Central Michigan, the Mid-American Conference opener. It'll be at Yager Stadium on Saturday. 3:30 kickoff on Friends and Family Weekend. Myself and Terry Bridge will have the action for you beginning at 2:30 on Saturday afternoon. Chippewas come in with a 31-27 win over Florida International on Saturday in Mount Pleasant, a game that they had to come from behind to get the victory for, but they are putting some points on the board. Really fine offense being put together up at Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, they're really strong on both sides. Their offense has been electric, just like it was back in 19.
Yeah.
Some of the pieces are the same. Some of the names that you saw in that game will be the same guys that are playing out of the Pimpleton and Sullivan and some of those guys. A really good running game. They rushed for well over 200 yards against an SEC team in Missouri. They gashed them the whole game. Big explosive pass game, but they also can dink and dunk it around pretty good too. So they're not up-tempo all the time, but they will push the pace or run a bunch of plays. They're putting up, just like in 19, they're putting up 500-plus yards a game and 40-some points, and they had a nice comeback victory at home last week. They got down, but they found a way to pull it out against an FIU team. So defensively, they're really, really strong and physical up front. Their linebackers and D-line, a lot of them, again, same players that played in 19, and really athletic on the back end, and they can make big plays on defense too. So just like 19, they're a little more noted for their offense, but their defense is really strong, as we saw in the 19 championship game. So both sides of the ball are going to have a great challenge.
Yeah, that's the unique thing with the COVID year and everybody else getting that year back is this year in the MAC. There's going to be so many guys that are so familiar with each other, going at it that probably didn't think they would still be playing football right now.
Yeah, no, it's pretty awesome for all those kids, and particularly for the kids in the MAC that the most anybody got was 6 league games.
Yeah.
And Central got to play 6. We only got to play 3, so it would have been, like we've talked before, it would have been a shame if that was a year for those kids.
Exactly.
But big game at home. We really appreciate the student support in the first home game against Long Island. I know ticket sales have already doubled for this game. We got to try to get Yager Stadium back to full capacity. We got to turn this back into home field advantage. We had a great first home crowd, but obviously Long Island opponent isn't the most exciting opponent to have. But now you got league play. Every game is a huge game, as we found out. We've had the best record in the MAC over the last 5+ years, and we're excited. We've been very good at home over the last while. We haven't played poorly at home, so we really appreciate the support in the opener. We're looking for more support. We're looking for a great MAC season.
It should be a great one. Make sure you get a hold of the Miami University Athletic Ticket Office. Get your tickets. The Friends and Family package is available. You get 4 tickets, banners, and discounts, and lots of great stuff for a discounted price. Make sure you call the Miami Athletic Ticket Office and get your tickets. Coach, thank you so much. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Head coach Chuck Martin joining us this week on RedHawk Football Weekly.